Hey, what's going on, YouTube? What's poppin', everybody? Eastern Europe's finest, hosted by Mike. So, before I get down to the nitty gritty, let me give a shout out to my new boy Eric, aka E. I met him last year, or I forgot. Or it was last, was it 2022 or 23? Whatever. Anyhow, met him and his brother. I love any fellow O-ring collector. Um, this is why it's always good to do videos as well as leave a good impression on people and vice versa, because you never know when it comes full blast. My issue is I keep forgetting to network with people I buy from, especially if I buy in bulk and whatnot, because the guy was definitely happy that I brought the stuff, and I was happy that I brought the stuff on Sunday. And this guy E, aka Eric, or Eric, aka E, or whatever, he actually watched my video, and I got a phone call from him. I think on Sunday, or was it Monday? Was it yesterday, or was it? It actually doesn't matter. He brought off for me, and we made a deal. We were talking, and he was definitely good enough to, how you say, to bless me in the presence of stuff he has and had. He didn't have to. He didn't have to reach out to me. So again, Eric, man, much obliged, and thank you for that. It's good that people know and see that you're a fair individual. That's very good. I think him and his brother, or maybe it was just him, but I met both of them at a show. I can't remember if we saw each other at Edison and or just at the Woodbridge Hotel, but I treat everybody the way I want to be treated. I am a person that shop with my eyes, so I'm always cleaning whenever I get stuff, especially from thrifting, flea markets. I always try to clean and wipe stuff down and stuff before I resell it, because a lot of people, they put stuff out, it's dirty, dingy, little flimsy, and they ask outrageous prices for stuff, and the stuff looks like you got to go home and wipe it down or wash it. And I'm like, I never understood that, why a lot of people do that. But anyhow, we were actually talking about that. So yesterday we were making some deals and whatnot. And the prices he told me and the stuff he had was phenomenal. It was really good. And he collects O-ring Joes, and I'm obliged, and obliged. I was obliged enough to be able to help him with a couple of pieces he needed, along with a bag of weapons, and we made a deal. So look out for that video. And as I was going to meet him, because he lives in one part of Jersey and I live a little, obviously, more north, but we wound up meeting at a mutual place, which was in Union this hot ass afternoon, and we met in the parking lot of the Union's My Unique. They did have this big dynamic. I think it was called Dren. Was it Drinzen? No, Drenbrins. Whatever the hell it was. It was a newer big Chikogan type robot, but the price they had on it was ridiculous. They wanted $399 on it, and it was 75% off. So 75% off of $400 is actually $100. Don't ask me why I'm so simple minded. We were all sitting there like, duh. Gee, George, tell me what the price is, duh. But technically, for every 100, 75% is $25. So you get $25 off of every 100. You know what I mean? So obviously, self-explanatory. But they don't do anything higher than 75%. So I guess they're gonna go ahead and just keep it up there until it sells, or until the color revamps around or whatnot. I'll probably do some more research on it, but I really don't know if I'm gonna go back and pick it up for $1, because I think that's just way too much for it. That's probably why everybody else thought that's why they still have it there, because the people that work there is greedy and stupid, and a lot of these thrift shops, I hate to say it, are like that. These people don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know their hands from their elbows, or their elbows from their assholes. But anyhow, moving back to this brother, I did pick up, and it's funny because they had an older vintage. I think it was one of the Listen and Talk or whatever. It could have been. I didn't look at it, but it was the Big Bird, and they had $69.99 on it. Do you know how many times I brought and came across that in another thrift shop for like anywhere from $2.99 to like $7 at top? At most. And these guys had the price of $69.99. The price they had on sneakers and everything, like this place is insane. Now, mind you, My Unique is owned and ran by Savers. Savers own, Savers own My Unique. They own Value Village, and they own Second Avenue as well now. And their prices are fucking absurd for a place that get. I mean, all these companies they get about 70+% of all they shit from donations. I don't give a damn who they hire. I don't care if they hire guys like ex-cons who are coming home from prison work release or whatever the hell, or if they hire people with mental or physical instabilities, or if they buy truckloads of stuff and spread it apart to different facilities from Lupus or the 1-800-VETS or whatever. I don't give a flying crap. 70+% of all they shit do come from donations. And regardless, like I think it's inexcusable for anybody to turn around and get those kind of donations and shit, be hugely tax exempt, and get stipends and shit from the governments to where every other business in that vicinity pay out the a-hole for stuff, and they get away with a lot more stuff because they are non-profit. And to charge those inexcusable prices for stuff is just greedy and just deplorably disgusting to me. But anyway, I still shop there like everybody else because you do get deals. So maybe it does sound a little contradictive and hypocritical in a way. Maybe, who knows? But anyway, I need to speak on it. And so the only thing I picked up was a big ass Pokemon Pikachu. It's like that fat and probably about yay big. And I know those normally go for a decent amount of money because certain squishables go for good money, and any Pokemon, especially main characters like big Squirtles, Charizards. And it's funny because over 2 months ago, I did pick up it had to be over 2 months ago. I did pick up the biggest Charizard from Second Avenue. He does have a couple of holes here and there, but it's so expensive that somebody will probably still want it. And now I have the Pikachu, and the Pikachu is only like $8. So I definitely grabbed that, and yeah. So that's all I got from there. All I got was Pikachu, and then I was me and E, we met up, and really really cool guy. So I had some GI Joe figures and some weapons that he needed. And I'm always willing to help a fellow O-ring collector, especially somebody that shares a passion for 3 3/4 GI Joes as I do. And now I met a new guy I can consider a good acquaintance to being on the road to becoming friends and helping each other out with stuff. You know what I'm saying? And he gave me, I got some beautiful stuff. It's not like holy crap, but it's not like neither. Like it was better. Just as good, if not even better than a lot of the Marvel Legends I've gotten this Sunday from the other individual. To why I guess he decided to call me, which is good, and I'm glad he kept and for some reason had my number. So then after meeting up with him, I was like, since I'm already here, let me go. I didn't. It was hot. I didn't go to Walmart because I knew I was. I had to go in PetSmart because I had to pick up crickets for my bearded dragon and my tarantulas. Because the tarantulas eat in about 3 or so weeks. That's normal for them. The bearded dragon, you want to feed them a lot more because for some reason, they eat a lot more than tarantulas. Tarantulas can go 6 months. Even lizards, they can go for a long time without eating. But why chance it? And then I went into GameStop over there at Union, and in the GameStop, I was gonna pick up the. They did have a copy of the Jedi game, but I don't like getting games and paying for games that don't have the original cases. I'm just real funny with that. I want original cases. I don't want no case you're gonna make up. It's not my thing. If I'm paying for fucking something, I don't care if it's used or not. I want it complete. So I didn't take it. And I was looking in there for GI Joes and stuff like that. They didn't have any, but before that, I went to Target, and I was having a heart-to-heart talk with my daughter. Man, when you're a parent, you're never gonna stop trying to give advice and parent your child, regardless of how old they get. That's just part of parenthood. So for those who have little ones, be prepared. because it only gets more expensive and more stressful. The older they get, and the older you get, it doesn't get any easier. I'll tell you that. But I did pick up these four guys, and I did see some of these at the toy show, and I didn't even gravitate toward them because at one time I was gonna sell off my best action figure stuff, and they actually had all four of these. And as I was talking to her, I was just grabbing them, but there was no more. So, oh, sorry. So as you see here, the April O'Neil, I finally got Rocksteady. You have Casey Jones. I don't really know what that Casey Jones is supposed to be about. I just grabbed them, and you have Slash. So here you have Slash. And it says limited edition collector cards. So I guess now they're giving cards with some of these things. So here it says glow in the dark. I don't know what's supposed to glow in the dark with him, but he does. I don't even understand why they gave him that jewelry looking mask / glass thing. They should have had a regular head on him and then add that to it. So I don't really understand why they did that. But yeah, okay, so he does glow. His whole body glows in the dark. 31 points of articulation. Multiple accessories. So he comes with 2 extra hands, 2 guns, and some kind of backpack looking thing. So he basically glows in the dark, as you see here, and that's that. And I started with these from Walmart because, you know, but it seems like Target seemed to be on point. It seems like Target is just busting it out with these. It seems like they're taking over. And then here we have Casey Jones. Okay, so this is Casey Jones Battle Damage. He also comes with a collector card, so I guess they're doing that now. So he does have like this weird looking hockey mask. And he's like basically in black and white. And he does come with his regular mask as well. And I also realized they actually put in Loyal Subjects Los Angeles on the thing. So they're doing that now as well. And of course he comes with a bat with spikes. I don't know what that thing's supposed to be. And yeah, so you know, Casey. So here, 31 points of articulation. So he comes with 2 weapons. I guess that would be a bag, 4 extra sets of hands, and his original hockey mask with his hair, as you can see there. Okay, as if I don't, you know, my hands are getting worse and worse. I do lose feeling and sometimes grip in my hands. It seems like it's shooting over to my left now. It was always my right, but now it seems like it's shooting over to my left. But yeah, this is the Casey Jones. It's different. And then now we got Rocksteady, and I'm looking over here at Bebop, and Bebop doesn't say Lloyd, so I guess this is new packaging and whatever. I don't know if the Bebop comes with the human head as well, but they did give you 4 extra hands. So he comes with a machete, a machine gun, evidently a card, and this is Street Thug. Okay, so this is Street Thug Rocksteady, and the other one is just Bebop. So I guess this is equivalent to the street style Turtles. At least the good thing is they don't have, you don't got to collect another fucking 2 or 3 of him. 31 points of articulation. It says incredible sculpt detail. So he comes with the human head and a set of human hands with 4 extra mutant hands. Of course, a machine gun and a machete. I never really paid much attention to these to really understand or know these, so. Then last but not least, we have April, the reporter. This would have been pretty badass if I got this last week, to be able to have Judith sign this. That would have been pretty dope. But here it looks like they're actually, these stickers, or no, this is actually imprinted on the front where it says Loyal Subjects. where the other ones didn't. They all just said BSTAXN. And of course, 31 points of articulation. So she basically comes with a pistol, a camera, a headset, a mic, and 2 sets of hands. And this is a really, really nice looking April O'Neil. Really, really nice looking. And she comes with an extra head. Oh, that's right, I said that right. So she does come with an extra head as well. And these are all under $20 for now. April O'Neil, the reporter. So yeah, to that. Then I knew I had to go to Home Depot. I believe when you go to the plumbing section, they used to. I don't remember if it's the same company called Is it Everbuilt? Yeah, Everbuilt. But it says 9/16 or 3/8 in inches, 10 pieces. So this is, normally the packaging used to come out to about here. And again, I don't remember if it's the same brand or not, but they changed the number size. It used to be number 8, now it's 45. Let me just make sure it is, because I did buy 5 of them just in case. I didn't want to just get one and then be like, oh, it's the right one. Then go to my local Home Depot and then realize that, oh snap, that's them, and then they're out of them. And maybe the reason why they have so much because some people just realize that it's, So this is the size. This is number 45. So I took a risk of buying all these. I brought 5 packs to see if these are the right O-ring size. From the way it looks, I believe it is. And I just want to, do a video showing you guys. So I'm using Major Blood here. Take him apart. Yep, okay. Take out the old, almost 40-year-old O-ring. All stretched out. So how I do it is, everybody does it different. I do know a lot of people that I buy G.I. Joes from, including my friend Eddie, and some other people that I brought from, that when I change their O-rings and stuff, they use these real thin, smaller ones, and they say, oh, I like using these for the older figures. And I'm like, I don't. I like using the regular size ones because, regardless, that's what the company use. And they don't fit right, because they're still very loose. But I guess these guys like it because it's less time consuming and they feel like this stuff is gonna break. Now, sometimes you do have to be careful with these hooks because sometimes, being that they're real thin die cast, they will break on you if you apply too much pressure and stuff. Well, just by putting this in here now and looking at it, as you can see that, it does look like it seems to fit. So what I do is, I normally put the legs together and I pull it and I kind of pinch it like this. I pinch it like this and then I put it through the crotch. Now, some guys do have issues with these. And what I do is just like this, or like this. I guess that's the best way to show it. I hold it from the top. I pinch my fingers together, and I just slip it, and boom, just like that. And I wanted to do it with him not only because he's actually off, but because he's an older figure. And then I just hold on. Let me just show you this way. So I always put the loop through the front, like through the top, like you see this. You see the top of where the screw goes, like right here. I actually put that in. I always do it like that, and I hold it just like this, like I'm pinching it from the front to the back. And then I carefully, like, pull, and then I would, boom, just like that. And there you have it. It's in. So this is the right size. So now, if you are in Home Depot, you're like, hey, where's number 8? Now you know that they switched it. I don't remember if it's the same company, but they switched it. And I know some people do have issues with the older 82 and 83 figures because they're slimmer versus the 85 and other bodies. It's the same thing, And then when you got to deal with the figures that don't have the head that goes down, you just basically... Well, all right, well, I ain't going to be able to show you that. But how I do it is... I normally put both of the arms in, and I'll take the head, and I would just, you know, put the head in, and then I'll make sure that the rubber, that the O-ring is not pinching against these again. Oh, sorry. I ain't gonna be able to show you guys, but anyway, against these sides down here, you see where my fingers tapping those two corners there, and I just take I take it and I do this. I put the bottom in first because it's smoother, and as I do that, I carefully just remove my fingers from holding the arms and the head in, and then I just, you know, carefully just pinch, and boom. Just like that, there you have it. He's on. Now the only thing I need to do is just re-screw, and I put it in, and I just put it in enough to where, you know, that's it. So you don't want to over tighten it and break it, because it will snap, because again, that's metal going into plastic. And there you have a new O-ring Major Blood. Fits perfectly. So now, since I know, just like you guys know, from now on, if you are confused and you are in Home Depot, I guess it's probably the same company. It could be a new supplier or the same company, but either way, they call it number 45 now. So just so you know, it is not number 8 no more. It's number 45. And as you see here, I brought 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the 5th one. So I like buying a lot of these. So I basically brought everyone that they had left on the shelf. So yeah, so I'm gonna use this one to get these other guys. Now, just to show you guys again, let me just do Blowtorch, because he seems to be one of the worst. As you see, he's been doing so many crunches. He's like, yeah. So you want to use a thin, I don't know the sizes of these screwdrivers, but any screwdriver, any Phillips head that can fit in a hole without you adding stress to the actual hole and messing the hole up. Where did the screw just fall? All right. So first thing you do, boom, you just take all that off. Because I know some people don't know how to do it. And, you know, again, he's a bigger figure, but he's still like a 84, 83 figure where he doesn't have the head that goes up and down. So that's the difference. So yeah, it's too hot to be on the motorcycle. I was going to go on my motorcycle tomorrow, but today was bleeding hot. And they told me tomorrow's going to be worse. Man, shit, I'm staying my ass right home. So here you have Blowtorch's overstretched O-ring. So we're gonna take that one out, and same thing, we're gonna put the O-ring in, and there you have it. Hold up. There you have that. And again, I pinch it. I pinch just like this, and I hold it from the bottom as I'm pinching it, just so I can put the crotch through. And I know some people do have issues with these. You got to take your time. And once you can feel the top, you grab the crotch from the other side and you just pull it through. Sometimes you get some figures, you got to fight with it to get it, you know, saying to get it in, and you got to like just play around with it to make sure that hook gets in, so where that hook doesn't break or snap the crotch. I mean, I've been doing this shit for so long. I can probably do 15 of these in like 20 minutes. Like, that's how long I've been doing this. And again, same thing. You basically just hold it like this, and you know, you pull it, and you just do that. And as you do that, you do want to make sure that you get that rubber band or the O-ring in between. This for every figure. You want to make sure you get it in between these slots, because remember, right here in the bottom right here, you have the pegs on both sides, and then those pegs, and then on the chest side, you probably can't really see it too well, but when you open it up, you understand what I'm talking about. There's like holes right here, and they help snap in and keep this thing from, you know, keep the front and the back from, you know, tilting sideways and whatnot. So once you have him like this is how the figure should look. and then you just basically take his hand. I mean, you know, you could do this different for the 82 to 84 guys versus the 85 and over, because the 85 and over, I'm gonna show you guys how to do that as well. So being that Blowtorch is an 84 guy, he doesn't have the head swivel. So when it comes to this, you definitely want to make sure that the arms are in the right way, and then the head, because remember the head doesn't have the swivel, so it has to go in between this little bridge area, and you want to make sure it snaps in and stay in, and then you know, if the arms fall, you do it again. Then you take the actual chest and you put it again to the bottom, and you just, you know, squeeze it, and this is how it should look, just like that. And then as you do that, you just want to lift the hip a little bit so you can get it in, and voila, there you have it. And he's in. And again, this is an 84 guy. I mean, you could do this, you know, you don't want to do that with the 85 and better. I'm going to show you why. Because again, remember, their head have the swivel, so it's even easier to do that with these guys. So, there you have him. So him and Major Blood are done. So let's go to Flint, because Flint's a little weak. Well, he's extremely weak, even worse. Come on, do it. Come on, do the crunches now. Do the leg lifts. Come on, do it. You can do it. Come on. So let's open him up. Come on, let's do it. Do it now. You can do it. Lift up your legs. Come on. Come on, do it. Come on now. All right, enough. So you take him off and boom, just like that. Yeah, because G.I. Joe's players too. G.I. Joe's getting money around the world because G.I. Joe's players too. Keep it playing, baby. Oh, that was dope. Did my own remix of with Coi Leray. Coi Leray. I said Coi Leray. Coi Leray. People getting money all around the world because it's players too. Keep a player, baby. You got to catch me at the fight. I mean, you got to catch a flight. I just want to have a good night. I just want to have a good night. Hold up. And if you know, I'm fucking up the song I know. And, you know, sometimes you can just take them and sit them in as you lifting the O-ring just to get, you know, just to make sure that the hook passes the crotch area without cracking or adding any kind of stress to it. And Major Blood is a hard figure to do because of that. And, you know, when you're dealing with these thick O-rings, and you're dealing with guys like Major Blood and these thick O-rings with those thick ass the hook, it can be very, very hard. Sometimes you gotta be real careful. You want to take your time too, because you don't want to stress or break the hook. I've done that a couple times here myself, where I've actually broken the hook because it was just too much stress on it, and it just gave way. Now I'm gonna show you the difference on how I do the 85 and newer figures versus the 82 to 84. How I normally do it if I don't. Where are you? Come on, show me. His chest just fell. There we go. So, all right. So last time I was in Home Depot, they were number 8. And what I do is I just close that, and he's headless. So now it's everything is in. But how I do it is, again, being that their heads go up and down, and they don't have the neck, and then that little slot area, then the other like cylinder piece that goes in, but that goes in and hold the bodies together. All I do with these is I take the head, I just, you know, tilt it to the side a little bit, and I pry open the top part of the back to the front, and boom, the head is in now. That's the easiest way to do it without falling and knocking parts out or breaking it or whatever. I find it easy. Then I just take the screw, put the screw back in, re-screw it until I can't force it no more. You can force it, but once it stops, you want to stop because you want to break it. And there you have a stiff head and you have a flint. Yo Joe. There you have them. So I have Frostbite, Barbecue, Roadblock, Overlord, Quick Kick, the Baroness, the Cobra Fog guy, whatever, and Lampreys. You know, let's do the Baroness, because the Baroness being a female and being also a 84 type of figure, maybe it was just easier to show you guys that too. So let me just show you her. She's a little more difficult because she's got the hair that actually drops or droops over her back. So, and then I'll just end this video with that. So let's get the screw out. And not only do I drop the fucking screw, but it's down here somewhere. So let's see if I can freaking find it. Let's see how far I jump. Because you want to do that, and you want to use the same exact screw that was in it. I do have other screws, but you know, being that she's an 84 figure, you really do not want to use like another figure screw, because you can wind up snapping or messing up the screw groove that she came with. Thank God, here it is. And the reason why is because some of the figures come with different very, very slightly sized screws. So I would definitely urge you to make sure you take proper precautions when you're doing this, because again, she is a thinner figure, and you know, some people do just keep their heads and their hands on it if it stays in. I don't like to do that. I like to, like right now, you see how her head is staying in because of her hair overlaps it, so her hair kind of helps keep the head to the body. So, and you know, this thing hasn't been taken out since manufacturing, so you just want to take it out and that's it. You want to do that because you want to make sure that the new O-ring fits in perfectly. So, you know, don't be lazy about stuff, because being lazy, you can want to break in a figure. And she's a $35, $40 figure without her weapons, because one, she's the Baroness, and two, she's the Baroness. So here, so you know, see her, and you know, you could tell sometimes some of these O-ring hooks, like HUDs is like, sometimes the metal is more shinier. When it's a real shiny metal, they're a lot more brittle than some of the newer ones. So you gotta be very careful with that. So again, I'm gonna take the O-ring and I'm gonna like put it in the hook. And some of the hooks are in the front, some in the back. Like you can see, hers is actually in the front, where versus some of the opening of the hook would be in the back. And the back ones are harder. So I would definitely tell people, sometimes, you know, if you don't really know what you're doing with these, unscrew the legs and reverse the hook if you have time and you want to do it that way. I've been doing this for so long, I'm pretty fine with it. So again, with her, I'm just, you know, taking this O-ring and I'm just like squeezing it in. And since she has a very, very thin crotch, I don't really have to force and pull. But because she does have a thin crotch, I got to be very careful with how I proceed. You see that? Like how, oh wait a minute, how I proceed to put this thick O-ring through it. I mean, I know a lot of people do, you know, they just use a real thin one and they just put it through. It's almost like a rubber band. And it makes the figure feel funny. It makes the figure feel like it's going to fall apart. Because, you know, it is a newer O-ring, but it's crappy. So you do want to play around with it a little bit, as I'm playing around with her. But real quick, you know, you just got to find an area. So what I got to do is, her crotch, let me show you. So the O-ring, I mean, the hook. See, this camera, the camera is hard. It's hard for me to pinpoint where everything is. But if you look here, I'm actually applying her hook to one side of where the crotch is compared to just going straight up. Because some of these figures, that's how you have to do it to get it in, and then you gotta like play with it. So as you see here, I played with it, so now it's in and under because she has a thin crotch. And you want to do it that way. Then you want to like elegantly like glide the legs up and maneuver the crotch a little bit, and there you have it. Now you have her, you have it in her. All right, that sounded a little perverted. you have it in her. And you don't want to pull. You don't want to pull. You want to take your time. Because remember, you got to gently do it because you do not want to break that hook. And sometimes, with these figures, you have to precisely put the O-ring in between the spaces where the bottom part in here, there you go, you can see it better. These pegs, you want to make sure it goes in there because, if it doesn't and if it sits on, when you put the front to the back, it can pinch. And just by moving it, I've done that a lot where I broke, where O-rings snap because of the force of the pinch. And then you want to definitely take the arms, and sometimes it's going to be difficult with a slim figure like that because of the O-ring. The O-ring is thicker now. So you got to hold and apply the hands in, and then you got to do the same thing with the head. So with the head, you just, it's easier putting it back on than off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the arms off. And as I did that, the thing got weak again. And it just gave way. So I got to force this on her and make sure I keep that. So I'm going to put a head on first. And then after I put her head in, then I'll put the arms. So our head is back in now. And you want to do that because remember, there's no real space between the O-ring and the head, especially for these 82 to 84 figures. So you got to be very careful, and you got to hold all three in place. And you see how she, almost like she's throwing up from a body shot. You got to hold the legs too, and you want to take your screwdriver and make sure that you put that is between those two areas down at the bottom where you see those two holes. You got to make sure you do that. And then you just basically, and the bigger hands you have, the harder it is, but you want to hold the legs with fingers as you're doing that. And then once you know you have it, you just basically guide, and you want to lift a little bit of the crotch to get that in there, and there you have it. Boom. Without pinching her, without pinching the O-ring or anything, and it gets back in there. And again, she's a very difficult figure because of her size. And you want to hold the shoulder at the back of the shoulders as you put the screws in. You definitely want to pinch both of them down with a lot of force and then screw it in. You want to do that with a lot of figures like her, because you don't want the stuff to snap out or break until you can't feel it no more, and then boom, there you have it. You have here a brand new a brand new Baroness with a brand new O-ring, up to date 2023 O-ring. So again, remember that when you see this in the plumbing section of Home Depot, it is number 45 now. It used to be number 8, not 9, number 8. Now it's number 45. It took me a couple of minutes to stop being confused, because now I'm like, why these numbers are different? Why they got 100 and 115 and all this? And then I was like, wait a minute, that number 45 looks very similar to number 8, because I done did so many of these things. I know the size, so I was so convinced I was right. So there you have it. All right. So thanks for watching, and the next video you guys will see is the stuff I got from this dude Eric. And Eric, thank you again, man. I had to shout you out in this video, because not only do I know you watch it, but you didn't have to reach out to me, and I appreciate the trust and the respect of you doing so. So God bless to you, man. So peace out, brother. I'll catch you when I catch you, man. And for everybody else in YouTube, peace, love, and hair grease.